Hey, Shalom, Akim. This is Bayala here at a surrogate of Yahawashi / Paradigms. I give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, BAHASHAM, Yahawashi, BAHASHAM, Kahakwadash, double honors to the apostles and elders at Greatmillstone, taught me truth for well. Peace and salutations unto the shepherds that feed the sheep of Yahawah. It's the Heavenly Father's ancient Hebrew name, and the only begotten Son who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. Real name in the Hebrew is Yahawashi, which means He to deliver. He's coming to deliver the elect of the nation of Israel, which consists of you 12 tribes, which are the so-called Negroes, West Indian Haitians, Hispanic Latinos, and Native Seminole Indians, and those who descend from those 12 that are scattered in every nation under heaven that look like those nations where they were scattered, okay, which are considered the speckled birds in the scriptures, okay, all right, and peace and blessings unto the very few sisters that listen to this truth and believe in this truth, and to you, you Akim out there, in sincerity and truth. Peace and blessings unto you. It's a real quick video. Yeah, hear this. Let's hear this. All right, this is uploaded by GMS Maccabean Spirit, the elder at the GMS Chicago camp. But hear this video. Just want to hit the point because it's coming. All right.
Plenty of countries have extreme polarization and factions. Walter says that the ones that erupt into civil war have something else in common. They're not entirely democratic and not entirely authoritarian either. Have a look at Iraq, what happened there after the US invaded and brought in a kind of democratic system. Walter says, quote, "It wasn't the poorest countries that were at the highest risk of conflict or the most unequal or the most ethnically or religiously heterogeneous, even the most repressive. It was living in a partial democracy that made citizens more likely to pick up a gun and begin to fight." You swear, right? We're a democracy. We're fine. Not so fast. For years, political scientists have used a special scale from -10 to 10 to +10 to measure how democratic a country is. The US has historically been a +10, at least since the last civil war or thereabouts. But under Trump, that number declined steadily. And in the aftermath of the 2020 election, the US dropped to a +5 rating, the lowest since the first civil war. By that measure, we're no longer a full democracy, but what political scientists call an anocracy. And that Walters says that is the Civil War danger zone. Combine that with our extreme factionalization, rising attacks by right-wing extremists, and the easy availability of guns, of conspiracy theories, of misinformation on social media, and you have a tinderbox that most Americans don't or won't recognize, including most American politicians. I mean, how are we supposed to react to comments being made at right-wing conferences like this one?
At this point, we're living under corporate and medical fascism. This is tyranny. When do we get to use the guns? No, that's not a joke. I'm not saying it like that. I mean, literally, where's the line? How many elections are they going to steal before we kill these people?
Woo, you heard that? Thus with violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown down. Egyptians shall fight against Egyptians. This is why the Lord saved the best for last. And this is why they're having such troubles passing these mandates, all right, that just flopped in the Supreme Court. There were 100 person, within a workplace, capacity will have to take, the pinch stick. It didn't pass. It failed. So they're just going to have to come down with those draconian mandates and make life pretty much impossible. Okay? That's the time we in. Judgment. The year of the turn up. 2022. Salakia. Let me get it. Here we go. Isaiah 19:2. And that would set the Egyptians against the Egyptians. Yeah, there was a video I wanted to add on here, but I guess I couldn't make it. It says, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, everyone against his neighbor, city against city, a kingdom against kingdom. Okay, because there's a video out of Green Berets and others, army or whatnot, but they were showing the Green Berets training to fight seasoned vets, okay, on the shores of America, all right, because they know that insurrection is coming, okay, which is scriptures going into Egyptian against Egyptian, which the modern day Egyptians are Americans, all right, American Edomites to be exact, okay. So that's what's going on in that video. Deuteronomy 30:7. And the Lord thy power will put all these curses upon thy enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee. Okay? All the low level Edomites are these low level the heathen nations. All right, and now feeling all the curses in Deuteronomy 28:15 on down that the children of Israel have been feeling for the last 400, 500 years. Okay? Because, like I said, this is the time where the Lord is going to judge all the wicked. Okay? When his son returns. All right? Ecclesiasticus 41:7 says the children will complain of an ungodly father because they shall be reproached for his sake. Okay, everything of Esau and those who have joined under him is being revealed. Okay, and this is why things are looking so sloppy right now. Things are not going according to plan. Okay, like he once thought. These ruling elite. You know, and it says, "Woe be unto you, ungodly men, for which have forsaken the law of the Most High God. For if ye increase, it shall be to your destruction." Okay. It says, "And if ye be born, ye shall be born to a curse, and if ye die, a curse shall be your portion." Okay. It says, "All that are of the earth shall turn to earth again, so the ungodly shall go from a curse to destruction." And who's the ungodly? The wicked. Okay, Job 9:24. Naturally. Okay. And that's gonna be what? To reap what he's sown, what he's done to the children of Israel and around the world. Okay, destroying the earth. That's why the scriptures say in Revelation, the Lord shall destroy him which destroyed the earth. Okay. And he's the only, like I said, the only nation that will not be needed anymore after his role is fulfilled, in the Most High's movie, which is prophecy. Okay.
That was put in place to help hundreds of thousands of struggling tenants in New York during the pandemic is set to expire on Saturday.
And tonight, crowds came out in Manhattan to protest the move, while lawmakers say that they're working on ways to get more relief. CBS 2's Dick Brennan reports.
Protesters demanding rent relief marched on so-called Billionaires Row, 57th Street, where some of the priciest homes in the city sit, furious that the moratorium on evictions will expire Saturday.
I just feel like I don't know how to get out from under the weight of all of it, That's a really frustrating and dangerous place to be.
Esteban Garan says he's behind in the rent and suffered from long-term COVID.
Nobody wants to owe rent. Like, nobody likes to be in that position. We want to be able to pay, for adequate housing, but it's kind of impossible to do right now.
Garan and the marchers say they need more time to get more money, but with the eviction ban lapsing, pressure is building on all sides, including landlords. What have the past 2 years been like for you?
Extremely difficult. There's been barely enough money to stay afloat and cover my obligations.
Landlord Lincoln Eccles has 14 units in Crown Heights and says he's in debt over $300,000.
It's just a dance every day, every month. What can I pay? How much can I pay? Who can I go to? Where can I go to for funds to cover the cost in front of me.
The governor says she's going to ask the federal government for more money. The feds had said that they were going to set aside money that other states didn't use.
We asked the Department of Treasury for over maybe $978 million of that money to come to New York. That money, despite efforts, resulted in $27 million. So that's not going to get us over the finish line.
The governor says she's now consulting with the legislature over the next steps. What does this mean for the politicians?
This is a lose-lose all around. Why? If they vote for the moratorium, well, then the small property owners lose. If they vote against the moratorium, some of the people who live in those properties think they'll lose. It just is not a win-win situation under any circumstances.
And now with the moratorium expiring, the state has reopened its rent relief portal, which can slow eviction proceedings, but the state will need more federal money to help save renters.
Prices for groceries, rent and other needed items continue to soar. The owners of small shops are particularly hard hit as they see their customers beginning to treat what were everyday purchases as luxuries.
You can see how the money flows. You can see when people are not getting the extras, when they're getting coffee, drip coffee instead of cappuccino. You can see it. You can see how they pay if they're paying in coins.
The increase in prices is now being felt at every gas station and in every grocery store.
I just think we're a little more careful. I notice it in almost every product. Fruits, vegetables, which we buy a lot of, deli products. I can't really see anywhere that the prices have gone down, but they've gone up.
Bottlenecks in the supply chains of distributors are the primary reason, and these in turn are the direct result of staffing shortages as the pandemic continues to rage worldwide. At this stage, though, the head of the Federal Reserve insists there's no need for panic, that this is a temporary situation.
We will use our tools to support the economy and a strong labor market and to prevent higher inflation from becoming entrenched.
It's a similar message coming from the White House, which points to a dropping unemployment rate as evidence that economic recovery is underway, and is adamant that the supply chain issue will be resolved.
We are well positioned to attack the challenges of prices and costs head on. And that's exactly what the president and this administration are doing.
But Republicans continue to blame stimulus measures for overheating the economy. One thing is clear. It's impossible to predict the ongoing economic impact of the Omicron variant surge, which the nation continues to face.
I don't believe we've seen the peak yet here in the United States.
The rise in price increases reflect a harsh reality that in a pandemic, it's not just people who get sick, but the economy as well.
Have to catch a nerve if I had an air.
And have you ever thought about being able to unlock your car or pay at the store just by waving your hand? Well, a body piercing expert is bringing that to the future in Lansing with a new product. Josh Sanchez is here for you with a look at chip implants.
I went for, I guess you could say, my final piercing apprenticeship at a shop, and I was there, and things were not progressing the way I wanted my career to go.
Farrell Lanier goes by Hades in the artist community. In February 2021, after selling nearly everything he had, Lanier opened his shop, Flesh, in Lansing's Old Town district.
With this shop comes a lot of innovation. So I'm trying to innovate the entire body art industry when it comes down to body piercing and bring it over to enhancements.
Lanier was interested in technology, so he combined it with his love of body modification to come up with this.
I felt that it belongs in the body enhancement industry. It is an enhancement. The future will be based on it.
The implants with RFID and NFC technology can be connected to smart devices, and it can act like a virtual wallet. The implants are not completely new. Employees at a company in Wisconsin were voluntarily chipped in 2019. Lanier says it's as safe as getting an earring.
Infection rate is minimum, depending on who you are, depending on if you take care of it. That's with any piercing or any enhancement done to your body.
The implants will run around $200, and Lanier says he's excited to be the first to offer them in Lansing.
I'm here at a time in life when this was unheard of, when it was just movies as a child, you know? So now to see that this is actually a thing that's happening and I'm a part of it, it's historical.
Here for you in Lansing, Josh Sanchez, 6 News.
All right, this is 16. It says that he brought me into the inner court of the Lord's house. Behold, at the door of the temple of the Lord, between the porch and the altar, were about 25 men with their backs toward the temple of the Lord, and with their faces toward the east. And they worshiped the sun toward the east. All right, they did that during the Byzantine Empire. During the we consider the Dark Ages. At that time, the Byzantine Empire. They also doing it today. Okay, a bunch of pagan worshippers. That's why those holidays our people in this time are so attracted to. Okay, because they did it before. Remember, what's this guy's name? Constantine. All right, he was the one who merged paganism with the scriptures. What in 13? I think in 313 or 333. I forget. It was around 300 AD. All right, which was so-called Negroes. Okay, so that's why our people are so infatuated with pagan festivities. Okay, this is especially in this captivity when we lost our heritage. So it says, then he said unto me, thou hast seen this, O son of man? Is it a light thing to the house of Judah that they commit the abominations which they commit here? All right, and that's really talking about right now. The worst of it. For they have filled the land with violence and have returned to provoke me to anger, and lo, they put the branch to their nose. Okay, none the wiser. Do as thou wilt. They are under the vibration of Esau Edom, the wicked. That's why the Lord said, what ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father you would do. He was a murderer from the beginning. All right, that's talking about the so-called Caucasian man today, but the very ruling elite, all the way down to his princes, okay, who the Lord have given this earth over to pretty much destroy it. Okay, so he could send his son and show pretty much us, the hopeful elect, the small sanctuary, how not to rule a kingdom, right, or how to run the earth, or now how to run the earth. Okay, so he could turn it right side up. Again, this is therefore will I also deal in fury. Mine eye shall not spare, neither will I have pity. This is the Lord himself speaking. The Father, this is going to come through the Son and the angelic forces. All right, all the way down to the left-hand entities. Okay, that's on our people. And all these people, especially in Babylon the Great, in general. It says, and though they cry in mine ears with a loud voice. That's why the scriptures say there shall be what? Weeping and gnashing of teeth in the last days. Oh, you best to believe it. All right, they starting to do that now. Okay, it says, yet will I not hear them. More and more tribulation, right? More judgment, okay? More chastisement, okay? And the Lord against these wicked people, especially our people. Okay, you respectful words that's here in the United States, which I believe dominate Esau's population here, because Esau is small, okay? And here we go with these moratoriums in this winter, they're not going to extend it, okay? Because the feds are running out of printing money. They're ready to pretty much dump this dollar, okay, and go full digital, as we've been telling you since last year, okay? That's all that's being spoken about. Bear shells biting, that's getting ready to hit hard. Inflation, and now there's moratoriums, all right? So the Lord is bringing death, okay? It's because you hear it and it doesn't happen the very second. Remember, one day with the Lord is 1,000 years. But as we can see, he's been ramping up judgment, man. Okay? All throughout the 50 states, all throughout the planet. Right? To the point where it can't be ignored. Because everyone is going through the same thing. Same issues. Alright? Where their life, hangs in the balance. Okay? And knowing that this is all the so-called God of the Bible that's bringing all of this, using his left hand, which is Esau, the elites who have given up on this place. Why? Because it is prophecy. Okay, he's getting ready to judge Babylon the Great, Esau, Edom, and the wicked on this planet. These reincarnated souls to receive the judgment. Okay, this is called the birth pains. Okay, and then intensify. Okay, so this is what you see. There's a whole bunch on this. All right, so it says, remember, this is Job 4:7. It says, remember, I pray thee, whoever perished being innocent, or where were the righteous cut off, even as I have seen they that plow iniquity, which is sin upon sin, and sow wickedness, reap the same.
You know, off because they want to force you into a position in a barbarous, murderous, evil world where you've got to do bad things just to feed your family. And I'm not going to lie to people, and I did last year when that rant went viral and got 50 million views or whatever about eating my neighbors, which was a modest proposal 2.0 from Jonathan Swift about if things really did break down the way the globalists want, you know, I probably would actually eat people. And I think you would too. 90+% of people become cannibals. 10% either get eaten or commit suicide. And then the cannibals feed on each other. Now, I'm being honest with you about that. I don't want to be forced into that position. Because I would just starve to death. But I look at my 4-year-old daughter. Well, she's got to eat. And I don't say this to be dramatic. I don't say this to freak people out. This is the real world we're going into with 7.5 billion people, and the globalists turning off the world economy. Because if they get their full collapse they want, if they think they can get away with collapsing it, then they think they can get away with posing as the saviors when they are the conductors, when they are the masters, when they are the engineers of this. They will take it all the way. And that's why you see the military training for 20 years to take on zombies in an apocalypse. And the image of giant hordes of crazy, evil people running around eating each other. They admit, well, it's not legal to really train the military to mow down their own citizens, so we call it a zombie drill when the troops practice mowing down thousands of role players who we put green paint on their skin. They could be black, they could be white, they could be whatever, but we dehumanize them by saying they're a zombie, putting them in some rags and having them go, and what do zombies want? What they don't have. Brains.
This is Psalms 21:8. No, that started 7. It says, for the king trusteth in the Lord, okay, Yahawah, and through the mercy of the Most High he shall not be moved. And that king is Yahawashi. All right, the physical king is King David, who we believe was King Marshall back in your reincarnation when he was alive. It says, thine hand shall find out all thine enemies. Okay, that right hand shall find out those that hate thee. Okay, and it goes into the fiery oven, which is thermonuclear destruction. You know, the war in the Valley of Jehoshaphat. Okay, to pretty much cleanse the earth, you know, of its wickedness. All right, through that fire, nuclear fire. So I hope this video was edifying to the elect. Till next time, Shalom. Yahawah Shimi Yahawashi, Barakathum. Till next time, Shalom.